I just want to make sure we got good audio. I am here
Hopefully.
with Aaron.
That's me.
Aaron from NAP Transport.
That's right.
Is it NAP or NAP?
NAP stands for the non-aggression principle, which basically is my life philosophy, which is I will not initiate the use of force to achieve my political or social goals. So, I'm not gonna initiate force on anybody for any reason. So,
NAP Transport.
yep.
That's his YouTube channel, guys. Go check him out. NAP Transport. Really appreciate you doing this with me. Huh? I just had to run somewhere.
Yeah, had to run like soon as he sat down.
So, what's going on, CL9? Jesus, ¿qué tal? What's going on? So, quick question. I see you have an Ace 2 shirt.
I do.
What is that about?
So Ace 2 is basically the business, kind of the business health class here at Prime, where, after you've been leasing for a little bit, they kind of go over your numbers with you. They tell you how to interpret your paycheck or your settlements and kind of tell you where you can improve, or help you figure out where you can improve, how to fuel, all that kind of stuff. So
Okay, good enough. Now we're gonna go back to our regular schedule. So Mother Trucker, shout out to Mother Trucker, guys.
Yep.
Go subscribe to his channel. He's doing phenomenal out there, guys. Mother Trucker.
Yep. Asian My Show.
Asian My Show, yes, the Asian My Show, correct. So how did you get a hat, man?
Actually, as a matter of fact, I like when he first started doing merch, I was one of the first people to buy it. I've actually been in the trucking industry for a couple years now, and the Asian My Show, Alex was one of the. He let me know that he had stuff for sale, and I went and bought one to support him.
All right, that's what's up, man. So let's get back to the questions. Let me ask you first and foremost, what did you do before you got into the trucking industry?
I had probably the greatest job in the world. I was a karaoke DJ. I was a KJ. I ran karaoke shows at bars, and had a great time letting other people kind of help other people feel comfortable in front of others.
Did you do karaoke yourself?
Sometimes.
Man, I would have to be very, very drunk.
The name of the company that I leased my services under was actually called Liquid Courage Karaoke.
Liquid Courage. That's what's up. That's good. So, at what point did you decide, hey, I want to get into the trucking industry?
Oh, probably when I was 5, 6.
Oh man, so
it was a long process. Long story short, I was in kind of a rough marriage, and I met the woman who's now my wife, and she asked me, if I really wanted to work in bars the rest of my life, and asked me what I wanted to do, and I knew I had to marry her when she said, well, why don't you go do it? We'll set you up for trucking school and all that. So, hey, here I am.
All right. So, are you doing lease or company right now?
I'm leased right now.
You're leased right now. Okay.
Actually, on my second lease, even though I've only been here about 6 months.
Second lease in 6 months. Okay,
Yep.
okay. So, he's been at Prime 6 months.
Yep.
Out of all the companies, wait, first of all, did you come to Prime with your CDL or did
I
you
did.
get training here?
No, I came with my CDL.
And did you have to get any type of training?
No, I came in as an A seat because at the time I had a little over 4 years experience consecutive.
Okay, 4 years.
Yep.
4 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been here 6 months, but you've had experience for 4 years now. Where did 4 years start? If you don't mind me asking. If you don't have to answer.
No, I'm not ashamed. I did my first almost 2 years at Swift. Did a couple of other companies for a short time. A lot of bad stuff, and I try to keep the negativity away.
All right.
And then I was at Schaefer Trucking. I don't know if any of your viewers
I
saw
don't.
me when I was over there. I actually went by Wandering Nomad and made videos when I was over there. So
Okay, okay.
yeah, I had a couple hundred subscribers, but that didn't work out, and I was like, if I ever got the itch to lease again, I was going to come to Prime, and best decision I've made.
So what took you 4 years? Why did it take you 4 years
Well,
to come to Prime?
well, they wouldn't hire me at first.
Okay.
When I wanted to go through trucking school, they wouldn't hire me because I had a suspension. My car had been repossessed, and I had a speeding ticket when I was in that car. And without a car, I didn't really care about my license, so I let it lapse for a couple years. Wanted to get into trucking and paid off my ticket, but to come to Prime, your license has to be active for 1 year before they'll.
So your license was suspended then?
It had been, yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, just for non-payment of a ticket. It wasn't anything like reckless driving or anything like that.
Okay,
So it shows you guys out there who think that Prime's just a starter company who will hire anybody off the street. They won't. They're very selective.
Yeah. Okay, so why Prime? I mean, I know that you said that if you would do another lease that you would come to Prime, but why Prime? I mean, out of all the companies, why Prime?
Well,
There's a lot of companies that do leases.
There are.
You tried two already.
I did.
And you said if you do another lease that you would come to Prime, but why Prime?
Well, Prime kind of had what I needed. My first lease was at Swift. It was a mileage lease. I have my own thoughts on that, but I failed that lease. Then I went to Schneider, where you pick your own loads and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't really have the business mindset, and it was basically just, here's the information, go out and do your thing. Whereas here at Prime, you have like a team with you, and that's kind of what I was looking for, because I want to eventually own multiple trucks, and here at Prime, they kind of have a team that'll help you figure out how to run your business. I mean, if I wanted to this week, I could run back and do Ace 2 again, just to kind of see how to improve it even further.
So if you could change anything about the last 4 years, would you say that you would go company versus lease, or would you say that it's something else?
I've actually become a proponent of, do a couple months company so you kind of learn the lanes of the company you're going to be with, regardless of who it's with. Go company for a couple of months, kind of learn how to run the truck, especially for the new people. If you're coming in here experienced, it's a little different. But for newer people, go company for a couple months. That way, if you do mess up, you're messing up on their truck, not your own. And then you'll kind of get a feel for how everything's going, and you'll be able to be a better business owner.
Okay. So you decided to come to Prime, and you've been here 6 months.
Yep.
And you telling me that you are here to...
I'm here to grow.
No, I know you're here to grow. But I mean, why brings you to the terminal now?
Oh, I'm actually here. I decided to go ahead and bite the bullet and become a trainer.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you, but I mean, I actually have you to thank, because seeing how you are with trainers, seeing your training style, I kind of want to model after that.
But I'm too strict.
Good.
You sure you want to be that person?
Yeah. If you're driving an 80,000 pound land missile, I'm gonna make sure you don't kill anybody.
I'm too strict. You're just too strict. He's too hard on his students. But they're adults. They're not kids.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, and that's the thing is, I'm out here. If I'm gonna train you, I'm gonna make sure that you're trained like to be as safe as you can possibly be. I mean, if any of you guys watch the Prime safety meetings every week they say safety is our highest calling. So
Yeah.
if you're going to do anything, make sure it's safe. If you're not going to be safe, get off the road.
Okay. So that's good, man. That's good, and I really appreciate you, watching my videos and stuff, and then wanting to replicate, what I'm doing, and that's good because we do need good trainers out here. And obviously, you've been here 6 months at Prime, but you've been driving for
That's
4 years,
almost 5 now.
almost 5 years.
Yeah,
So
it was 4 when I started at Prime.
okay,
A
so
little over 4.
that's good. That's good. So you said that you wanted to grow here. So what are some of the things you want to accomplish out of the trucking industry here at Prime?
At Prime, really what I want to do is train the next generation of drivers. I want to make sure that we have the safest out on the road. Just because we're a company that will train doesn't mean that we have to be the starter company. And I want to really just, and in turn that'll help grow my business. Potentially some of the students I might train could end up driving one of my trucks. I mean, kind of like you.
None of my students drive my trucks.
Well, no, but I mean, multiple trucks and then being able to hire people. And,
No, I got you, man. I got you. That's good, though. That's good. And yeah, that's what we do is to, better our families,
Yep.
guys. We come out here to make this money, better our families, grow, and everybody grows at a different pace.
Yep.
So this is not a race.
No.
A lot of people think this is a race. It's not a race at all. So you want to grow and hear Prime and stuff. Now, with you having training outside of Prime, do you think some of those things that you lived or during the training, do you think they're going to help you be a better trainer here now?
I definitely think that with previous companies I was with and with the things that I've learned being with a few different companies, I feel like I can learn from my own experiences. I've made plenty of mistakes, and one of the things that I say is I'm always learning. I'm going to be a rookie until I hang up my keys. I don't care if I'm out here 20 years. If I quit learning, then I'm going to kill somebody. I'm always trying to improve, and that's really what I want other people to strive for is, continue to improve, continue to stay positive about the future.
Yeah. So, with all that being said, you're going to become a trainer now.
Yeah.
And again, congratulations on that. How has it been for you the last 6 months, which you've been here at Prime?
Wonderful. And the thing is, I don't need to train. Like some people will tell you that they're getting into training for the money. They're getting into training because they'll make more. They'll, double their income or whatever it is. I don't need to. I do very well solo here as a lease driver. And everybody's number is going to vary based on your dispatcher, based on how you run, based on what lanes you run. Like I have one area I won't go to, and that's inside of 287 in New York City.
Okay, so with that said, are you doing refrigerator or flatbed?
I'm refrigerating.
Okay. Just want to make sure I clear that up because I didn't ask that first. So you're doing the reefer now, okay?
I'm actually just doing this to help other people. It's to give back to those, to pay it forward.
Yeah.
For those that have come before me.
That's good, and it's always good to have people that want to, train properly because every single company out here has their good and bad apples.
Yep.
We just have to choose what we want to be. Do we want to be that apple that rottens, the rest of the apples, or do we want to be that apple that is going to be a good one? So, and you have to make sure you're smart about the decisions you make because you can't come out here and be a trainer and not teach the guys properly because at the end of the day, you're not only cheating the student, you're cheating their family and the company. So, and I've said that all the time. So, and I'm going to say that as long as I live, to anybody, I don't care who it is, but yeah, that's good that you're here, Prime. How was the hiring process when you first came to Prime after the first time? Because this is your second time you applied, right?
Yeah.
So,
And I've been dealing with Nikki, who
Nikki Yost.
he
Okay.
puts at the bottom of his videos. I've been dealing with her for like 5 years, and she, when I was at other companies, she'd send me emails and stuff like, "Hey, are you still interested? You want to check us out?" And finally, I broke down and did it, and the process was really easy. I applied. It took 2, maybe 3 days to get all the process work done. That they do whatever they do in house here. Then they called me and said, are you able to get to this place for a drug test? And so I went to that clinic and got my drug test. I think I took the test on Friday. By Tuesday, they were calling me saying, "When do you want to go to Pittston?"
So you went to Pittston and
yeah, I live out in Pennsylvania.
Okay, you live in PA, so you went to Pittston. How was Pittston?
They are so laid back there. The guys that were there, it was, I got there. I did the simulator. Now
The facility got a big update.
Yeah, it's nice there. But this is just for experienced drivers, because I can't speak on new drivers or students. But I went in, we did the simulator, we did the classes, or we did like a couple classes, and then it was 2 days of death by CBT.
CBTs are computer-based trainings.
Yep.
Training, which has to be done by everybody. Frank Terrero, no sé nada de PAM Transport, disculpa. CBTs, everybody has to do, whether you're experienced, not experienced, and upgrading or not.
I just know I had to do 62 of them at one time. So I think the students, they come in and they'll do the ones for this, and then they get the PSD, then they have more to do, and then they upgrade and they have more to do.
They're broken down through the whole process. You had to do every single one then.
Yep.
Wow.
It took 2 days to get them all done. I mean, I probably could have knocked them out like that night at the hotel. I just didn't feel like it.
Were you nervous after not being successful with the previous leases that you had, and then you finally come and decide that you want to do a lease here at Prime?
Yeah, actually, I was very nervous, and that's why when I talked to, forgive me if you're watching, but I think his name's Joe in Success Leasing in Pittston.
He's not watching.
Well, maybe. But I want to say his name's Joe, and I talked to him, and I'm like, look, I've failed leases before. I want to make sure that I'm going to make it. So what do we have as far as short-term leases here?
So that's why you said that you've been through 2 leases.
Yeah.
Okay. You're on your second lease.
He found one that was a 3-month lease that was there on the yard, ready to go. And I'm like, you know what? I'll do a 3-month lease. It'll get my feet wet. It'll make sure that
this is what you want to
can
do.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that I can, and that it's what I actually want. And it was. That's why I signed I mean, it was a used truck that I got here, but I mean, it was 2.5-year lease.
So, you got a family, or?
I do. I'm married. No kids. But
no kids. Okay.
I do have my 4-legged daughter there, and she is my world. My dog. I have a dog, and she is basically like my daughter. She gets spoiled, and she cuddles and all that stuff, but she's my kid.
Woo! Hey, that's cool, man. So, with all that, what did your wife say when you told her, I want to come to Prime and I want to do a lease? After
she was hesitant. Very, very hesitant.
How long did you have to convince her and get her on that page where she's like, all right, let's do it?
I really didn't.
If you're watching,
she decided to.
Aaron's wife.
Yeah. If you're here, hi. Love you. Yeah, she. I have been talking about Prime for years now, and so, like, I had been telling her when I was over at Crete. Well, I was on the Schaefer side, which is their refrigerated side, same company. I had been telling her that if if I was gonna go lease, I'd come to Prime, and a lot of stuff was going on that the Crete Schaefer, it wasn't working out. They're a good company. I have a lot of respect for them, but it wasn't working for me. It wasn't fitting my needs. They paid they paid good enough, but it wasn't fitting my needs. So it came time where it was best for me to leave them, and there was no question, no hesitation. I knew where I was going.
But
But
going back to the wife, because I can only imagine what my wife would say and everybody's different, I understand, but I can't imagine what she was thinking at the time. She's probably like, no, don't do it, just go company or.
I think that that probably was a thought in her mind, but at the same time, I was actually I was making, as far as like cents per mile and the miles I was getting, I was making more than a lot of companies would pay. A lot of companies out here don't pay what I was making over at Schaefer, but so she knew that I wasn't leaving because of the money. I had good paychecks. I was doing well over there. Obviously, we had insurance, we had all that stuff as a company driver. But I do think she was hesitant. I think she was worried because of my past leases.
Okay.
I think
and it's
she was
understanding,
worried,
and it's
but-
understanding. I'm sure my wife would be as well, or anybody else's wives or significant other. But all right, so you're here at Prime. You're about to start training.
Training for training.
To become a trainer,
Yep.
and then start teaching the new people coming in. Overall, man, your experience here at Prime in the 6 months compared to the other companies, what can you tell the people watching? What can you say to the people looking for a company? Again, this is his opinion,
Yeah.
his point of view. This is why I do these videos, guys. I want him to tell us his point of view, his opinion on what he has experienced and lived himself.
Again, I only speak from the lease side. I can't say anything about the company side. But for me,
I'm talking Prime in all. Like,
oh yeah, I think this is probably I came 5 years too late. If I could go back in time, I would have paid off my, reinstated my license a year prior and come to Prime first off.
Man, that's
I get treated so well here. It took me a little bit of time with my dispatcher. It took me a little bit of time for us to understand each other. But now that we do, my dispatcher and I have a great working relationship there.
That's important.
I do run a lot of nights being reefer. I have a great relationship with both my night dispatchers. I wish I had come here sooner.
How's home time, man? How's that for you? How's that working out?
As far as lease, I'll put it this way. I've taken, since the first week of August, I've taken 10, 14, I've taken about 20 days of home time in 2 months. Now a lot of people might go, well, that's what you need. But basically, and that was in 6 weeks, I took 20 days of home time because I took a few days off in St. Louis to go hang out with friends. I took 10 days off and went to the beach, and I have the freedom and the luxury, and I can afford to do that, which is something that I couldn't do anywhere else. I was living to work. Now I'm working to live.
So you said beach. Where's home for you?
I live in the Pittsburgh area of Pennsylvania. So I went to Ocean City, Maryland for for a week and took a few days on either side.
Okay. I was like, man, he must live in Florida.
No.
I know. Florida's not the only place that has a beach. I'm just assuming. That's why I asked it.
I'm planning a Disney trip for next year.
That's awesome.
This is going to be the first year where I'll be able to actually take the holidays off without worrying, or without fighting with other drivers because one of the companies I was with, they said, you have to be tenured or put in your request super early because it's first come, first serve for these holidays.
Wow. So there's a seniority based.
Yeah. Even though it really wasn't, it was still an over the road. But
wow.
But here I can, if I wanted to, I could call up my dispatcher. Well, not right now. Tomorrow morning, I could call him up and say, "Hey, as soon as I leave here, I want to go home," and I'd have a load home immediately. When I've told him I need to get routed to Springfield, he routes me straight here.
All right.
I couldn't think of anywhere else I'd rather be where you're treated with the respect you deserve as a driver.
So NAP Transport, what does NAP stand for again?
NAP, Non-Aggression Principle.
Non-Aggression Principle Transport. Check them out on YouTube, guys. Let me read some of the comments.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there and see if the people got any questions. It says, Al Martinez says, "What's up, Junior? I heard mention in one of your recent safety meetings, on YouTube of the Florida division, will this be an option for a new applicant out of Florida?" No. They were just talking about because they were talking about the flowers coming out of Miami area in Pearson. They're just referring to the fact that it used to be a driver unload, but now they changed it to a no-touch freight, from what I understand. And no, it would not be something that a new applicant can do, because if that was the case, I would have been on that account by now. Trust me, I am on top of anything out of Florida. I live in Florida, so.
Okay.
Daniel says, "What's going on, Junior?" Alex, saludos, Junior, aquí llegando a casita. Muchas gracias, mi hermano, por sintonizarse. Elias Rivera, "What's the rate for the new company drivers coming to Prime out of CDL school?" Well, if you're coming to Prime out of CDL school, you would have to do the TNT phase of training and then complete 30,000 miles and then get on your own truck. Go ahead and fill out the application. In the description of the video, it's going to be a link to the application, just like Aaron.
Driver code.
Yeah, driver code Maturo, Maturo. I would really appreciate it. And like Aaron said, he used it.
I did.
He was talking to Nikki Yost.
Yep.
Shout out to Nikki Yost. Eddie Hall says Junior's face when he said four-legged daughter.
That was a good face.
Man, I'm telling you, I don't know what to say. Can I buy a used truck from Prime? Yes. There's not many right now because I believe they're being bought before the lease is up. I could be wrong, but man, they're scarce right now. Junior, is Prime still prohibiting New Jersey residents from going lease? I didn't know they were.
I think they are. I think New Jersey kind of followed California with like the AB5.
But when did Prime?
Well, if you can't be classified as it's something to do with classification, like working 1099.
Yeah, but when did Prime implement that?
It wasn't Prime. That was New Jersey and California that implemented that stuff. So
yeah, I understand California did it, but Prime said, okay, we're gonna say California, no lease operators out of California. But when did Prime say anything about New Jersey?
I don't know. I don't know if they have or not. Actually.
Yeah. So
now that I think about it, so
yeah,
don't listen to me.
Yeah. Don't listen to Aaron. My truck adventure said, "That's why I tell people all the time who have had success here, but see people are doing much better elsewhere. The grass isn't always greener on the other side." Rashawn Benz, hey there, Junior. What's going on, Rashawn? Lit Music says, "I'm with Night Transportation. Started with them and been with them for 2 months, but not liking how they treated me. Is there any openings at Prime and will they take me?" Lit Music, in the description of the video is a link to the application. All I can say right now is to fill it out, and Nikki Yost will contact you with further more information if yay or nay or what can be done. Fill out the application and the link in the description below, and there's a link there as well. Long story short, I love to teach, always have, and always will. From what I've seen, Prime, they are a hire to retire company. See y'all soon.
Yeah.
Man, you can't say that any nicer, man. That's true, and that's how I feel. Because my goal when I first came here to Prime was to work here 2 years and then go back local.
Oh, and here you are.
My wife's still asking what happened to that promise. You know, I don't know myself, so let me see. Let me go back down. I think California, Oregon, and Washington. I'm not sure. Do you still think it's worth it to get into trucking?
Yes.
I say yes too.
If you think about trucking, everything, period, hit a truck at some point. You know, the food that we haul that gets to Walmart on a reefer. The building materials to build the Walmart came on a flatbed. You know, yeah, there will always be trucking jobs.
RJ says, I want to join Success Leasing. 3 things I should know. I don't know. I don't know what you...
Homework. Make sure you have a business sense is probably the biggest thing I can say. And do not spend every dime that you take home, because that tax man's going to come and, you know, say it's $25,000 at the end of the year. You're going to want to make sure you have that, because the IRS is not forgiving.
Yeah. Is the fleet all manual, and is it governed at 62? No, if you're a company driver, it's governed at 58, 62. If you're a lease, it's 65. And they're all automatic. If I can lease a truck from Prime, can I work a different company? Yes, you can. Some companies you can do that, but you have to make sure that the company is going to pay Prime directly for the truck payment. Automatic in 65, I think. Yes, if you're a lease operator, if you're a company, it's different. 58 on the pedal, 62 on the cruise. Tips for finding a company when coming out of school. Do your research. Not all companies work for everybody. What works for him may not work for you or me, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So
I've been to multiple different companies, and I know this is a shameless plug here, but if you call Prime first, you won't have to call anyone else.
Gillett, the kid, says, what do you think about self-driving trucks? Do you think will they take over? I think we'll be dead, and we won't know if they take over, because they're not going to take over anytime soon.
Well, the self-driving truck isn't going to know what dock to back into when you got 200 docks.
It's my opinion on that.
Yeah.
Roberto López dice, en Price y Van Compañía se pueden estar una semana de descanso si están afuera más tiempo. Roberto, si es posible, tienen que hablar con el despachador. En esa parte, si usted necesita el tiempo, pues sí lo pueden hacer. Ellos son flexibles en esa parte. So, I'm with Schneider now. On tanker division, the Prime has hazmat loads. No, Prime's tanker division is all food grade. All food grade.
Good to know.
So, flatbed division, it's flatbed. They all everything. And they got the intermodal, which obviously it's intermodal. So, are we going to have an interview, Junior? Eddie, when we come across each other, we may have an interview. I don't want to promise one, because I don't know how it will be with time, because I know you live in California. And the only time I go to California is when I have a student. And I don't have a student. Don't know when I'll have a student. So, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Last words of advice for people coming into the industry that want to get their CDL, want to get a job on this. What would you say?
Study, and never stop learning. Don't get disheartened. You're going to have bad days out here. There's gonna be traffic. There's gonna be an accident that you're stuck behind for 7 hours. There's gonna be shippers and receivers who are rude to you, truck stop workers that are rude to you. You just gotta not think about it. And actually, on my personal channel, I give one piece of advice at the end of every video, and that's, when you look past all the junk in life, everything's beautiful.
That's right. That's right. Aaron, I really appreciate you doing this interview with me. Check him out on YouTube, guys. I'm gonna put a link on his video. I mean, on his channel in the description of the video and on the comments. Check him out. Subscribe. He's sharing his journey. Follow him. And again, thank you for doing this, man. I wish you the best. And we'll be in touch.
Absolutely.
We'll be in touch. You start training, get these guys right, man, and be tough.
I know.
Don't go easy on them, man.
I know who to shoot a message to when I have questions about training.
Yeah.
And subscribe to his channel. If you guys are watching this and aren't subscribed, what are you doing?
Thank you, man. Thank you. I don't usually say it, but yeah, I appreciate that, man. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Everybody have a good night. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Go subscribe, guys.